How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map on Farming Simulator 25 for PC and Mac only, called Hallig Luettenland. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Welcome to Hallig Luettenland. On this fictional Hallig in the North German Wadden Sea, you can establish yourself as a small to medium-sized farmer. Large equipment can be very difficult to use due to the landscape and narrow roads. Therefore, the focus here is more on the coziness and beauty of the virtual nature. To do so, you can purchase one of the 5 farms on the Hallig, only Terp, and gradually expand the initial very small farms as you wish. The only connection to the mainland is via a muddy path through the Wadden Sea. Therefore, you will have to wait for low tide to transport machinery from the merchant to the Hallig, or to purchase animals from the livestock dealer on the mainland. The tides on the map depend on the in-game time. Low tide is at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. every day. The high tide is at 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. The tide height updates hourly. The tide animation starts at 9 a.m. on the first day. Number of purchasable areas, 60. Number of fields, 48. Total hectares, 77.69 hectares. Average field size, 1.5 to 2 hectares. This is a European map created by Simon Team LEX and is 196.89 megabytes to download. There are required mods for this map, and they are the Farmhouse Package Volume 3 by DMI20mm Normandy and the Farmhouse Package Volume 2 by DMI20mm Normandy. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out here on the kind of island, just pretty much in the center of the island for the most part, towards the northern part of it. And we start out by owning farmlands number 14 and number 54. 14 is a wheat field that is ready to harvest, and 54 is your main starting farm. Field prices on the map do vary, but for the most part, they're relatively small prices because, I mean, you don't get a lot of land for anything around here. So 48,000 for this one, 99,000, 129, 96, 66, 33, whoops. We got 22, 30, 26, 59, 42. Let's see, big one down here at 379. So it does get up there a little bit, but not really that much. Let's see, we got 119, 352, 93, and so on and so forth. We do start out with an animal barn. We have a cow barn, as you can see there. Contracts are available on this map. There are no productions available or owned to start out with. And then there are collectibles on this map, according to this page, 50 of them to be precise. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, starting here under the Buy menu, there is no mods and DLCs tab here, so there are no mods specific to this map. On the Build menu, but on the Buy menu, but under the Build menu, there is nothing at all under buildings, productions, animals, decorations, or landscaping. So there are no mods specific to this map whatsoever. So we're going to do things here a little bit different today because this area that I'm in right here on the map is very condensed and packed. And there are the 5 farms, as mentioned in the description, right in this immediate area. So I figured it'd be easier just to purchase all the farmlands all at once and then show off everything that's here. It's not a lot to go through at this particular area because it's so tight and compact. There's not a lot going on, but I'll show you everything here in just a second. So, as I mentioned before, farmland number 54 is our main starting farm. 53 can be purchased for $26,334. And whoops, let's get back to where I was, because didn't mean to do that. Right over here. We're about right. Yeah, right there. That's a good starting point. So let's try that again. 53 can be purchased. We'll do so. And that is a main house kind of sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger. 52 can be purchased for $40,698, and that is a sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger, and a greenhouse. 51 can be purchased for $51,552, and that is a cow pasture. Now, there are 2 things here, a cow pasture and a cow barn, but I have yet to be able to see anything in regards to a cow pasture for this. I'm not 100% certain why there's both. And it's weird because I do see a milk trigger, but I haven't been able to find a loading point. I haven't been able to find a slurry point, a manure point, a feed point, anything outside of just the cow pasture. That's all I've been able to find for this. And a sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger. 50 for 31,194. Purchase that. And we have a house with a sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger, sheep barn, and horse pasture. And then 49 can be bought for 12,204, and that is a just kind of a plot of land. It's not even really the farm. So you got farm number 1, farm number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So just kind of a separate little plot right here. So now that we purchased everything here, let's go around and start checking things out. So first things first, we're going to go all the way up to the northern part of the farms here, so we can kind of do like a sweep through things. So all right, so here is the first farm we come across. Sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger right here. I'm going to just show you the one sleep and wardrobe trigger here as they all work. I have tested them. Around this side over here, we have the cow pasture with room for 13 cows. We start out with 10 in this pasture. We got a feed trigger here, water trigger here, and our load in for our cows is right there. Going back here, and helper Ben is right there. Sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger right there. Oops, hey, let me go. Oops, right here we have a sheep pasture with room for 15 sheep. Feed can go here. We've got a cow pasture back here with room for 16, horse pasture. Room for 16 horses. Feed here, water there. Now I believe this wool will spawn in here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's where it spawns. And then around this corner over here is the sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger right there. Let's see. Over in this direction, we have AI helper David, AI helper Walter, AI helper Noah, sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger at our main starting farm. So let's take a look at some of our starting equipment. So going in onto this screen, this screen right here under vehicles, we start out with the FarmTech EDK 650 trailer, the Fiat 160/90 DT. Now, warning, I'm gonna lay this all out here. There's something wrong with this Fiat. There's something drastically wrong. I don't know what it is, but every time I get into a Fiat, this specific one, and it's been on multiple maps, they have broken the game audio to where it just kind of flatlines and peaks the entire sound audio. I don't know why. I don't know what's the story with it, but it's one of those that I highly recommend avoiding it. Just sell it off and then get something new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just sell this so I don't accidentally forget about it. And then here in a little bit, I will go ahead and purchase a new set of equipment in order to then be able to make my way around the map. So next we have is the Horse Credo 3. That is a power harrow, the Horse Versa seeder. We got the Noach Eco Cultivator 300. We have a Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester, the harvester header and the header trailer, and a New Holland 1000 weight. So around this corner over here, we have our cow barn with room for 12 cows. We start out with 0. You can load your animals in here. Milk is also here as well. You can open the door. Feed goes here, and slurry out this side over here. And that is it for the main starting farm. These farms are really small. Let's see. So next farm is in this direction. Follow this around here. Next farm is right here with just a sleep and wardrobe trigger right here. And then the last farm is this one here with another sleep and wardrobe trigger. And around the back side over here is a greenhouse. So this is just a standard greenhouse. You come in here, all the standard fruits that we can grow here in FS25 with water, you're good to go. So now, like I said, I need to go ahead and grab a tractor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the tractor over here to the kind of main starting farm area, and we will leave right around where the original tractor was parked, which is, I believe it was tucked away right inside. I think it was this compartment right here. So we'll kind of, no, there's the weight right there. So it was tucked in right between here. There we go. So I'll just kind of come here to the main starting farm with the tractor, and then we will go from there. So I will cut us out here, and I'll cut us back in just a little bit. All right, so I made it back here to the starting farm with the new tractor. So let's go ahead and make our way around the rest of the map. So starting out here, directly in front of us is our main starting field, but we are going to go around it and down in this direction. We're just going to follow this all the way out to this area over here. To right over here. We're going to stop here. Now, take a look at the map. So we were up here in the midst of the hustle and bustle there on the hill. We then came down here to farmland number 56 and 55. 56 can be purchased for $39,330. We'll go ahead and do that. And 55 can be purchased for $40,212. So we'll go ahead and do that. So first things first. Way on the other side of the field over here, that is going to be where you can load and do everything for this pasture here. This is a cow pasture. Just got to make our way over to the feed fill area. Just over here. Pretty decent sized field. And you have room for 46 cows. You start out with 10 in this pasture. You can load your cows in right here, feed here, water there. And now I'm going to just fast travel to the tractor. So we'll do that. And now we can start heading in this direction, and we'll catch the values of this pasture just over here. All right, if we hop out, come back over here. Again, 10 out of 46 for this pasture here. And again, you can load your animals in here. You can feed here and water here. Now, one thing you might notice is that for an island, it's pretty dry right now. Not a lot of water out there in the middle of the ocean. So we'll get to the next location, and then what I'll do is I'll speed up time just so you can see that and you might be thinking exactly what I thought when I first came into this map. I thought the map was broken. Thought it was broken, but it's not. It's not. Don't worry about it. There might be other things that I didn't come across in my kind of goings on this map, my little walkthrough, but I did think that it was broken pretty much because of this. But not a big deal. We'll get there. So over here is our selling points on this island. We'll pull in right here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time just really quickly, so that way we can see exactly what happens. Once you reach 9 o'clock, bam, look at that. It all fills in, no big deal. So directly in front of me, this is the grain ship sell point. And then over here, stop right there. Down the ramp here, you have the ferry sell point right back here. So now, make our way out, back to this kind of ring road around the island. And then we're going to follow this all the way out to our next point of interest. As we continue to follow this road around, you do really get to enjoy the kind of natural beauty that is on this map. Between the undulations, the kind of natural sweeps of the landscape here. So as we continue to follow this around, we'll slow it down, head over the bridge. We'll just keep following this out until we get to the crossing. So coming up over here, we launch onto the beach and into the mud. So now we just got to follow this all the way across to the mainland. As you can see way off in the distance over there, that is the mainland. Now, make sure that you're following these specific markers, these kind of logs, or I don't even know what these things are, but just make sure you're following them. Oh yeah, they're logs. So what that's going to do is it's going to keep you in the kind of the safe area. Now, it's pretty wide. You can see it's a pretty wide road. You don't have much to worry about, but if you're not paying attention or you're just kind of off in La La Land, then you might get in some trouble. Now, one thing to note is when I originally was going on that Fiat Agri, the one that we got rid of in the earlier in the tour, I fast forwarded time to see, okay, well, is there like going to be able to, is it going to be able to claim the tractor, you know, the C? And after fast forwarding time, it didn't reclaim it, but I was getting the warning, something fierce of, hey, you know, this what you're doing is not recommended. Just saying. All right, so right here, shop trigger and repair trigger down here. And if we get turned around, now we will get back to the sheep that's up here on the hill to my left. There's two sets of them. We will catch up with those. All right, so directly in front of me is AI helper Katie. And behind Katie is the animal dealer. Now you can come to this location and purchase your animals directly using this icon directly in front of me, or this same icon at any pens and pastures you have laid out across the map. If you use these icons directly, you will incur an additional fee. The fee is associated to a delivery fee. The animal dealer is taking the animals from this location and delivering them to any of the pens and pastures you have around the map. So just to give you a little context here, an adult cow is going to cost you an extra $100 per adult cow. So that adds up pretty quick if you're trying to buy a good amount of cows. I mean, yeah, 12 cows right now is only $1,200, but that adds up, especially if you're very early on in your kind of playthrough. $1,200 can make make a pretty big difference. So to save that money, what you can do is bring an animal trailer to this location here and park it roughly in this area, and then you can utilize the animal dialog box. Should give you the ability to load into the trailer rather than trying to load it into the pens and pastures directly, and then you deliver the animals to the pens and pastures. You save that delivery fee. Over there we have the dairy sell point. And then to my right is the grain mill sell point. So now we're going to follow this out and around. I'll stop right here. We'll take a look at the map one more time. So we were out here between 55 and 56. We then came out from there and used this ring road all the way up to here where we saw the grain ship sell point and ferry sell point. We then followed the main road out, I believe up to around here, and then crossed over down to here, saw the shop trigger repair trigger, saw AI helper Katie as well the animal dealer. We saw the dairy sell point as well as the grain mill sell point. And now we're here. If we purchase farmland number 59 for 66,546, you'll purchase that and you get access to a sheep pasture. Same thing here for farmland number 60, $230,400, and we'll purchase that and we get some more sheep. So this sheep pasture will hold 326 sheep. It starts out with 20, and then right across the way over here, let's see, so that is way over here. And then here we have the other sheep pasture. We have 20 sheep, room for 112. And that's it. That is everything here on Hallig, oh goodness, Hallig Luettenland. And now it's time to render my opinion, let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. This map is incredible. Incredible. The color palette nice and toned down like that. You got the hills and undulations, and especially for it being a small map, that is going to be absolutely crucial, and this one crushes it. It's got nice amount of undulation throughout the map. It's not just a picturesque and flat kind of environment or anything like that. And I mean, it's just simple. It's a nice simple map, but with a lot of detail, including the sea. This is incredible. I absolutely love this. This reminds me of Hallig Petrus from back in FS22. But if we fast forward this, check this out. So as you can see, the sea does get up there pretty quickly, but it does not capture your vehicle, which is, in my opinion, a pretty alright thing. I want to be able to cross over when I can. If maybe the vehicle's smaller, then might claim it, might take it with the sea, but who knows? I'm not quite sure about that one, but I do like this as a option. This very nice, very kind of intricate detail that you have with the rising and falling of the tide. I think it's fantastic. It just adds a new layer and depth to this particular map, and I would love to see more people implement tidal effects on their maps. It would be, oh, chef's kiss. So good. I think it's great. What do I think about this map, though, in regards to the scoring method? 0 to 5 scale, I think that this map is a solid 4.5. Solid 4.5. It's almost a 5 for me. Almost a 5. The only thing that kind of, I don't want to say kills it, but the only thing that doesn't allow it to get to that 5, coveted 5 mark is the kind of town area that's here on top of the hill. It's just a little bit too busy. There's a little bit too much stuff going on. You know, if he had maybe another farm or maybe two other farms, then that's fine. Not a big deal. But you can tell like there's just so much going on here that you just can't. You just cannot make a way through or around without feeling like you're just kind of hemmed in and trapped for like the most part. But really, other than that, fantastic map. Map Maker did a wonderful job. I'm digging it, and I hope you are too. If you did enjoy this map tour, please show him by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy doing. The show to engage with his channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.